It's nothing personal, Maria, Harold Barnes said without glancing up from his computer, brushing aside 15 years of loyal service with the click of a keyboard. We're upgrading the building's image, going more upscale. I stood quietly in his office, still in my cleaning uniform, hands raw from scrubbing floors since dawn. Upscale? I echoed, trying to keep my voice from trembling. Yes. He finally looked at me, his face wearing that familiar mask, equal parts polished condescension and feigned sympathy. The new owners want to attract higher-profile tenants. We're bringing in a professional cleaning service. I am professional, I said softly. I've cleaned this building for 15 years. I know every inch of it. That's not the point. He sighed like he was explaining something simple to someone slow. Barnes & Associates is evolving. The space has to reflect our new status. You understand, don't you? Oh, I understood. I understood that the firm I'd seen grow from 2 lawyers to 20 had outgrown the middle-aged Mexican woman who cleaned their offices before sunrise. That all the early mornings, the silent care, the unseen labor meant nothing when prestige knocked on the door. My severance? I asked, standing straighter despite the sting behind my eyes. 2 weeks' pay. He slid an envelope across the desk, the same polished mahogany I had wiped down every night for years. You can finish out the week. I took the envelope without a word, though part of me burned with the urge to remind him of everything I knew. The whispered conversations I'd overheard. The sensitive documents left carelessly out in the open. The secrets a cleaner absorbs without ever trying. Thank you for the opportunity, Mr. Barnes, I said instead, my accent careful, my tone deliberate, just as my mother had taught me. Be gracious, Mija, even when they don't deserve it. He was already typing again, erasing me from his life as easily as he had from the payroll. I left the office and walked past the others I had once taken pride in, accountants, insurance reps, a young tech startup. Most didn't even know my name, though I knew who stayed late, who arrived early, and who was cheating on whom. My cleaning cart sat patiently in the hallway, just as it had every day. 15 years of labor, of being invisible unless something went wrong, all reduced to an envelope and a dismissal. The elevator doors closed behind me. My phone rang. Mama? Sophia's voice, warm and familiar. How did it go? Sophia. My reason for everything, for the long nights, the early mornings, the years of sacrifice. They're letting me go. There was silence on the line. Then, I'll be home in an hour. Don't cook. I'm bringing dinner. You have classes. They can wait. You're more important. Despite everything, I smiled. My brilliant daughter, deep into her 2nd year of business school, still made time for dinner with her mama. Back at home, the same small apartment I'd held onto since her father died 12 years ago, I sat at our kitchen table and opened the envelope. 2 weeks' pay. $840 before taxes. Not even enough to cover next month's rent. Sophia arrived with takeout from our favorite Mexican place and a fire in her eyes. This is good, she declared, setting down boxes of enchiladas and rice. Now you can finally do it. Do what? Start your own business, like you've always talked about. I shook my head. Starting a cleaning company takes money. And you have it, she said without missing a beat. I know about your secret account. I stared at her. How do you know about that? I help with the bills, Mama. I've seen the statements, $23,000 stashed away. And another $12,000 in your main savings. That's $35,000. More than enough. She was right. I'd scrimped and saved for years, taking side jobs, sacrificing extras. That hidden account was meant for her grad school, but she'd already earned a full scholarship. It's risky, I said. I'm too old to start over. You're 48. That's not old. Her voice was fierce, determined, the same spark her father had when he proposed to me. You know more about cleaning offices than any of those professional services Barnes is hiring. She opened her laptop, her prized possession, and pulled up a website for a commercial cleaning franchise. Startup cost is $30,000. They include training, supplies, insurance. Everything. But why would I buy into a franchise? You don't have to. Her eyes gleamed. You already have something better, relationships. You've been talking to business owners for years. You know who's unhappy with their cleaning services. She had a point. I'd overheard more complaints than I could count about overpriced companies doing half the work. You start small, Sophia said. Undercut the big guys, offer better service, build trust. Then grow. I looked at my daughter, so certain, so fearless. Just like her father had been. Before cancer took him, he'd made me promise to give Sophia every opportunity in life. Maybe it was time I gave myself one, too. Okay, I said slowly. But we do it smart. No franchise. We start small. We grow steady. Sophia's face lit up. You mean it? Yes. I reached for her hand. But first, we're writing a letter to Mr. Barnes. The letter was short and sharp. Dear Mr. Barnes. Thank you for the opportunity to serve Barnes & Associates for the past 15 years. Though I understand my services are no longer required, I'm grateful for all I've learned in commercial property upkeep and business operations. I will complete my final week as requested. Please ensure my replacement is informed about the broken supply closet lock, the unreliable heating on the 8th floor, and Mr. Davidson's severe dust allergies. Sincerely, Maria Suarez. I delivered it in person the next morning. Whether he read it or not didn't matter. The next few weeks were a whirlwind. Sophia helped me register the business, Elite Commercial Services, her idea, it sounds high-end, and design professional flyers and cards. I invested in top-grade equipment, better than anything I'd ever used before. My first client? Easy, Dr. Patel, the dentist who always treated me like a person, not a shadow. When he heard what had happened, I was starting my own company. Dr. Patel didn't hesitate, he hired me on the spot to clean both of his other dental practices. Finally, he said as he signed the contract, someone who knows what they're doing. Word spread fast. Within 2 months, I had contracts with 6 medical offices and 3 law firms. I hired 2 women I'd known for years, experienced cleaners, hardworking, dependable. Unlike the big companies, I paid them well and treated them with respect. By 6 months, Elite Commercial Services had 15 clients and 5 employees. Sophia helped me set up proper payroll and insurance systems, using everything she was learning in her business classes. Every night, she'd come home excited to show me a new spreadsheet, a better process, a way to make our operations stronger. You need to think bigger, Mama, she told me one evening as we reviewed the books. You're making more profit than Barnes & Associates pays their new cleaning company, and your clients are happier. I raised an eyebrow. How do you know what they pay? She grinned. I have my sources, and I know their new service is terrible. 3 complaints in the last month alone. I tried not to feel smug about that. I really did. But I did. Especially after hearing that their professional service was charging them twice what I used to. 1 year after being fired, Elite Commercial Services had 30 clients and 12 employees. We moved into our own small office, a modest space with a supply room and a break area for staff. Sophia insisted we all wear matching uniforms, dark blue with the logo she designed, clean and sharp. That's when the call came. Mrs. Suarez? The voice on the phone was smooth, unfamiliar. This is David Chen from Meridian Property Group. We're interested in discussing your services for our full portfolio. I sat up straighter. Meridian was one of the largest commercial property owners in the city. Of course, Mr. Chen, I'd be happy to meet. Actually, he said, our CEO would like to speak with you directly. Can you come to our offices tomorrow morning? The next morning, I walked into Meridian's downtown headquarters in the best suit I owned, Sophia's idea. You're a CEO now, Mama, she said, dress like one. The CEO, Sarah Chen, was younger than I expected, maybe 40, sharp eyes, simple black dress, quiet authority. Mrs. Suarez, she said, motioning for me to sit, I've heard interesting things about your company. Good things, I hope. Very good, she said, opening a folder. You've taken 15 clients from Advanced Commercial Cleaning in the last year. Every single one reports higher satisfaction, despite your lower rates. I nodded cautiously. We've used Advanced Clean for 10 years, she continued. They manage 63 of our properties, but lately, their standards have slipped. 63 properties. My heart was pounding. We're considering making a change, she said, but I have concerns about your ability to scale. I met her gaze. Give me 3 buildings, 90-day trial. If we don't exceed expectations, you walk away. No risk to you. She smiled, quick and approving. That's exactly what I wanted to hear. She handed me a contract. 3 buildings, a 90-day trial period. If we passed, we'd discuss the rest. I scanned the contract carefully, just as Sophia had taught me. Fair terms, clear expectations, and one of the buildings? Barnes & Associates. When can you start? Sarah asked. Next week, I replied, confident, ready. 1 week? She raised an eyebrow. I've been preparing for this. That night, I called an emergency staff meeting at our office. All 12 of my employees came, even though it was already 8 p.m. We have an opportunity, I told them, but we'll need to grow fast. No one hesitated. Carmen, my first hire, recommended her sister and cousin. Ozan knew a family from El Salvador, all with experience. By the end of the week, we had 10 new employees. Sophia helped revise our training, created step-by-step checklists, and set up new scheduling software. Our first night at Barnes & Associates, I went in personally. The place was a mess, dust in the corners, trash overflowing, windows streaked. I looked around, then turned to my team. We're going to remind them what clean really looks like. We worked through the night. When tenants arrived the next morning, their reactions said it all. Whispers, smiles, a few emails to Meridian, praising the new service. By the end of the 90 days, Meridian didn't wait for the formal review. Sarah Chen called me directly. How fast can you take over the rest of our portfolio? We scaled up quickly, but carefully. I insisted on quality, on training, on integrity. Sophia, now in her final year of business school, built out our management systems and financial controls. 2 years after being let go as just a cleaner, I sat in my own office, a real one, downtown, going over quarterly reports with my daughter. Revenue's up 300% from last year, she said, grinning. We have 140 employees, 87 buildings under contract, and a wait list. I smiled, remembering those 4 a.m. mornings scrubbing floors. Barnes & Associates, still complaining about every new service they tried. They'd cycled through 3 since Advanced Clean. Then I saw it, a listing in the Commercial Real Estate Bulletin. The Barnes & Associates building was for sale. The owners were facing bankruptcy and needed a quick sale. Sophia, I said, eyeing the listing, what do you think about buying a building? She leaned in, eyes widening. That building, can we afford it? With our revenue and assets, I did the math quickly. We'll need financing, but it's doable. She was already running numbers on her laptop, her business school training in full swing. If we leverage company profits and your personal assets as collateral, yes, we can make it work. I thought about Harold Barnes, about how easily he'd dismissed me, how invisible I'd been to the tenants. Make the calls, I said, but don't use my name, go through the holding company. 2 months of negotiation followed. The desperate owners took our below-market, all-cash offer, cleverly structured by Sophia's financial wizardry. The day we closed, I waited until late afternoon, knowing Harold Barnes would still be in his office. No uniform this time, I wore a tailored suit. I took the elevator to the 9th floor and knocked on his open door. He looked up, annoyed, then confused. Yes, he said, covering the phone's receiver. Mr. Barnes, I said evenly, my voice polished by boardroom meetings, I'm here about your lease. He frowned. Lease? Are you with management? In a way, I stepped into the same office where he'd once fired me. I'm the new owner of this building. The phone slipped from his hand. Recognition dawned, then disbelief, and finally, unease. Maria, but, you're a cleaner. I was a cleaner, now I'm CEO of Elite Commercial Services. We service over 80 high-end properties in this city, and as of today, I own this one. He shrank back into his chair. About what happened? I raised a hand. I'm not here to relive the past, I'm here to discuss your future. Your lease is up next month. You're not evicting us? No, Mr. Barnes, I don't believe in discarding long-term relationships for the sake of image, but there will be changes. I handed him a folder with new lease terms, meticulously prepared by Sophia and me. Rent will increase to match market rates, the building will undergo real renovations, and all tenants will be required to use elite commercial services. He flipped through the folder, hands shaking. This increase, it's steep. Quality has its price, I said, echoing the condescension he once showed me. You understand, don't you? He looked up, and in that moment, I saw it, he understood. I'll need your decision by Friday, I said, turning to leave. Then I paused. Oh, and Mr. Barnes, our cleaning crews start at 6 a.m. Now, I believe in treating my employees with respect. I walked out of his office feeling no triumph, just quiet satisfaction. I'd built something real, not just a company, but a standard of dignity. That night, I hosted a dinner for all my employees and their families, over 100 people from all walks of life, at an upscale restaurant I used to clean. Sophia raised her glass for a toast. To my mother, who taught me that no honest work is beneath dignity, and no dream is beyond reach. I looked around the room, my extended family, and thought about the journey. From invisible cleaner to respected CEO. From fired, to the one doing the hiring. The next morning, I arrived at my building just as the cleaning crew finished up. Carrot, now our operations manager, was training a new employee. Good morning, Mrs. Suarez, they greeted me warmly. Morning, I said, noting how spotless everything was. Excellent work. I took the elevator to my office on the top floor, the one with the best view in the city. As I unlocked the door, I spotted Harold Barnes in the lobby below, avoiding eye contact with my crew. I smiled, remembering Sophia's words. No honest work is beneath dignity, and no dream is beyond reach. I opened my laptop and got to work. There were more buildings in this city. And I knew just the company to clean them.